And for more on this, our SNL of Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibal, is also joining us right now. Siddhant, news just coming in is also that India has now called foreign envoys based in New Delhi to brief them regarding the Pahalgam terror attack. Tell us more on this.
Well, yes, in fact, I'm standing just in front of the headquarters of India's Ministry of External Affairs, where lines and lines of diplomatic cars are present outside, even as the Indian side briefs the diplomats and top envoys here in Delhi. In fact, if I can ask my camera person, Neeraj Patel, to show you the situation on the ground, you can see a lot of vehicles standing in front of the Ministry of External Affairs. It looks very packed right now. Usually this is a high security zone, so many cars aren't present, but many of these cars are diplomatic cars, and essentially this was expected given the fact that previously, after the Pulwama terror attack in 2019, India had briefed the international community. So this was on the anvil, and now of course the briefing is underway. Once the briefing gets over, we'll get to know what transpired, but the development coming even as we have seen that big statement coming from Islamabad, the tit-for-tat move by Pakistan closing Wagah border, the Indian airspace for Indian aircrafts, and essentially doing what India had already announced in the aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack. So essentially, we know that the situation looks quite tense. How it will transpire in the next few days will be closely watched. We know that the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi earlier in the day made a strong statement saying that India will make sure that the perpetrators of the attackers are brought to justice. In fact, you can see a lot of police presence also increasing because of the presence of the diplomatic community here in this area. On the Raisina Hill right now, which is the power center of India, and of course the Prime Minister's office, the top ministries, the Rashtrapati Bhavan are situated here. So it looks quite dynamic situation on the ground here in Delhi, and today is the day 2 after the terror attack. Yesterday, the Indian Ministry of External Affairs announced a slew of measures. Now, of course, Indian side briefing the diplomatic community on the Pahalgam terror attack and arguably the Pakistani involvement on the terror attack. Previously, also, we know that India has publicly expressed its concerns over the cross-border terrorism. But before I wind up, I'll show you the visuals of the situation on the ground. These are the visuals, live visuals on your screens for viewers of the situation on the ground. It is completely packed in front of the headquarters of the Ministry of External Affairs as India briefs the diplomatic community over the terror attack which happened in Jammu and Kashmir.
Right, Siddhant, thanks for joining us on the show and getting us the latest, of course, hectic movements there at the Raisina Hills, but we'll of course be tracking the outcome of that meet. But thanks for joining us on the show.